Welcome, trolls. First sees all.
Hi and welcome everybody. I have some new captures, of course, and with the new infrared, the Z2 second generation, we're finding a lot of clearer things. What do you think of this spiraling around? Well, we can say that we're seeing two black dots on this object. Look carefully. This object is turning as it's going by, and we're seeing the shadowing or whatever that's on top of this large object as it's spiraling. You can see those two dark spots turning around on the object. More detail, again, to be able to see exactly what's out there. We're not just looking at balls of light. At least with the Z2, we can see a bit more detail. Now, the Z1 was doing very good, obviously, but the Z2, I'll get a bit more things that maybe I'll be able to do with it. And obviously, we're looking at it in 1080p. Look at the detail of this object coming down. Let's look at it again. What do you think of that? It looks like it's separating, so we're seeing a lot of detail. There's so many things out there that are spiraling around in the sky.
Tout seul comme un fou dehors, s'il te plaît, de s'éloigner en m'impressionnant, en se rapetissant, en s'éloignant, je veux le voir partir. Et immédiatement, j'ai une réaction.
Wow. I mean, where you going, bud?
Bon, ben c'est là que vous allez attendre. Je vais mettre l'audio en anglais quand je parle, puis je lui demande de nous impressionner puis de s'éloigner. Puis immédiatement, la réaction.
There it goes. I love it when they do that. Take off, my friend. Press us. Picking up speed. Thanks a lot. See you soon.
Robert Oberson, Julia Craig, and C. Crawlface, all the way down to Christy Lindsay and everyone else who's contributing to this channel. I thank you very much, and I thank you for the interest. UFOs, not satellites. We're looking at a light in the sky doing a directional change right before my eyes. These events are very rare, and I have to film for hours and hours on end outside to see any activity. Well, not activity, but necessarily, but events like this where we can see an actual object turning around in the constellations or around the stars, whatever the reason why we're seeing that directional change. So again, the many people misinforming people that the lights in the sky are only satellites because of your attempts failing at trying to get real UFOs is really maddening. Because look at this. No way in hell any of you or anyone can say that these are UFOs when you see more 10 plus UFOs spiraling left to right. They're spiraling left to right at a fast pace and speed, which are obviously not satellites. So we're already looking at a handful of objects and events that are occurring around these mysterious lights in the skies that people say are satellites. So are the satellites landing on the moon? Is that what they're doing? What are they doing? If everyone thinks the lights are satellites, how come they're taking off on the surface of the moon simultaneously, as we see two here simultaneously leaving and then another one appearing underneath? Let's see that one more time. Here we go. A UFO, a second UFO on the left, they both appear, and then they simultaneously sort of disappear while they're taking off, and then you're seeing another one appear underneath. Here we go with a negative image, and that's what we're looking at. A straight up image shot, but except I transfer the whole video in image, okay, regular negative image, which anybody can do with a regular filter. So we're literally seeing lights arriving on the surface and taking off on the surface. Now, this is in reverse right now, actually, the image, because usually these UFOs are leaving. So we're backing it up to see them go back into their spot. Dust's lifting off the surface. Sorry, trolls. There's not just satellites out there. And what gets me really pissed off is the misinformation that's out there, especially since the trolls are just doing it to piss off the ones that are succeeding. There's no proof out there of anything showing that there's no aliens. That's the proof that we need to get. The trolls have to prove to the world that there's nothing up there, because I'm proving the opposite. Stationary points on the surface that you just saw. What do you think of that? Gigantic lights. Very big bursts of energy that we're seeing on the surface. These lights are traveling fast at the speed of light. This is 100% classified research that a numbnuts like me was able to get his hands on and to try to show people. Just to go to show you how deep that bloody secret is and how they brainwashed everybody. How we're all brainwashed. Different levels, right? Some of us are completely brainwashed and brain dead, right? That's what's going on, because we're listening to the system, we're listening to the information that's out there, and we're now not having to do our own research for everything, because there's just information out there for everyone. Do your own research. Get yourself a regular telescope. You don't have to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars. Start finding your own proof. Document them. Look at the characteristics of the things that you're capturing and compare them to the study of ufology, what everybody is saying in ufology. I've read thousands of reports, and obviously I'm finding some of the same things, some of the same traits, characteristics like heat signatures that we're seeing behind these crafts and vessels, whatever they may be, these lights lifting up off the moon, both arriving and leaving the moon. That was my goal at the beginning of my research, was to help with the proof. So we're going to have to find some proof that UFOs are not just spots of light on videos. But I left the trails, not the trails, sorry, more or less the trolls, left them in the smoke when I started doing this research. And then it became not proving that Bruce was a liar. It just became, let's just harass Bruce and just bug the freaking hell out of him so that he won't be able to get support. But people aren't that naive. Look under the smokes while you're looking, trolls, at the stabilized lights appearing. There's a life, a civilization on the moon. I know it, you know it, and the trolls know it. We all know it. Hard to comprehend? No. What's hard to comprehend is that they were able to hide this from us, to keep us naive enough to think that, you know, this guy named God was able to create Earth. Well, who says God did not create all that is in the universe? It's written in the Bible, right? Not trying to be a sermon here, but I know for a fact it's written in the Bible that God created everything in the universe. Big, small, you name it. He created it. So, the part of the story that we have here, that Bible, those Bibles or scriptures or texts or ancient sea scrolls that we have are all a part of something much bigger. The Bible, right? It's a small, very small part of it all. Look at the gases coming from the UFOs. Never before seen on any video that I've ever seen, gases coming from UFOs. And the UFOs are changing shapes and form. They're contracting. They're getting bigger and smaller as these gases. We're seeing shadow on the surface on the right, by the way, which is, I've seen a few shadows on the surface in videos. Tyler had put one out there, was a fake video again. Nothing wrong with posting fake videos, but if you're telling your community, that goes for all channels. I'm serious. This is the time where truth has to come out. See what's happening with the blacks and the whites and all the colors and the racism? You see how people are still living in the past? How we got to get out, okay, of our shells and understand that it's not just me, myself, and I out there in the world. We have to get along with everyone out there. We have to understand that off of this planet, there are other systems. We're just stuck in our own worlds here, reading our books and reading our texts, and it's just a small part of it all. If we knew the truth, people wouldn't go to work in the morning. They'd be so frightful. Watch it go away. It's going to split in two. I'm not lying, and I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to show you 2 or 3 times in a row this object, and I'm going to show you the light that's beside it while it's stationary too. This is pretty incredible. First time, right, that I'm able to capture it, that stationary UFO. There it is. It's split in two. didn't see it. Now we're going to see it really slow. So right now, it's slowed down. It's leaving. And watch it split in two, or two lights appear. There, boom! And this object disappears. And we saw that in slow motion. So there's the UFO, which has actually a shape, right? It has like angles around it where you see lines trying to, I have no idea. It looks like an octagonal shape at one point, almost looks like a stop sign. And there's that mysterious light that's beside it. And here it is. It's going to leave out and go out into deep space. There it is, getting smaller. Absolutely incredible. Watch it split in two. Boom. There we go. Here's some smoke around a UFO on the surface as it's heading down to the surface. Thanks so much, Mr. C. Crawlface, Julia Craig, Michelle Oberson. Thank you so much for the generosity, you guys. You guys are pushing us ahead.
This is Houston. Say again, please.